I had always admired my cousin David. Growing up, we shared a bond that was more like siblings than cousins. When David married Emma, I was genuinely happy for them. I admired their love and the life they built together, but admiration slowly turned into something more complicated and forbidden. It started innocently enough: late-night conversations, shared secrets, and a growing emotional connection. David was charming and attentive, qualities that drew me in. I knew it was wrong, but the pull was too strong to resist. One evening, after a family gathering, our relationship crossed a line that could never be uncrossed. After everyone was asleep, he took me to his car. It was a quiet night. We chatted, then I leaned in and kissed him. He did not push me away, and I moved away a little, smiling and blushing. He leaned in, his gaze meeting my eyes. A silent understanding passed between us, a warmth that spread from our eyes to our fingertips. He cupped my cheek, tracing the line of my jaw with his thumb. A soft sigh escaped my lips, a whisper of contentment as he brought his lips close to my lips. The kiss was a promise, a whisper of a shared future, a moment suspended in time. The affair continued in secret, each encounter filled with a mix of passion and guilt. I tried to end it multiple times, but each time, David would convince me otherwise. The web of deceit grew more tangled with each passing day. Then came the night that changed everything. Emma discovered the affair through a series of incriminating messages and photos. The confrontation was explosive. David confessed, and the fallout was immediate. Emma moved out, taking the children with her, and the family was left in shambles. I was ostracized by her relatives. The shame and guilt were overwhelming. I had not only lost my family's respect, but also my own self-worth. I tried to reach out to Emma, but her calls and messages went unanswered. As if things couldn't get worse, I discovered I was pregnant. The news hit me like a ton of bricks. I was carrying David's child, a living reminder of our betrayal. I confided in David, hoping for support, but he was equally devastated. The reality of our actions had finally caught up with us. Emma and David divorced. David's world crumbled. He lost his family and his reputation and now faced the prospect of a child born out of an affair. A few days later, I tried calling David many times, but the calls went unanswered. He was nowhere to be found. I had no choice but to learn the importance of taking responsibility for my actions and the need to rebuild my life from the ground up. The pregnancy was a turning point for me. I decided to keep the baby, viewing it as a chance to start anew. I moved to a new city, away from the whispers and judgment, and began to rebuild my life. I found a job. A few months later, the baby was born. It was a girl. I named her Victoria. I worked as a waitress. It was difficult. I had to bring Victoria along to work, even if my boss doesn't allow it. Unfortunately, weeks later, I was fired from my job because my Victoria was crying loudly and disturbing the customers. Everywhere I worked, I got fired again. Soon, my salary was not enough for the baby. Until one day I met a rich man who then became my husband. He offered to take care of me and provide shelter for me. But he said, I must sell my baby to his friend desperately. I blindly agreed. I thought I was enjoying the life I could imagine. Days turned into weeks, then months, then years, and one fateful day, when I was shopping at a mall, I saw Emma and a young woman walking side by side. I quickly ran to her and talked to her. Emma did not look too glad to see me. We had a normal conversation. After our conversation ended, then I heard Emma said, "Come on, Victoria, let's go." It shocked me. I was thinking, could that be my Victoria? I ran to her again and asked Emma desperately, "Is this your daughter?" Victoria had no idea what was going on. Even if she's really my daughter, she could not recognize me. Emma then smiled in a wicked demeanor and said, "Stepdaughter, I bought her from a friend. I guess you know exactly what I meant. Goodbye, Lily." And they walked away happily. My heart shattered into pieces when I heard this. So it was her, Emma. She's the one who bought my Victoria, my sweet daughter, and I couldn't imagine. I realized that's always a price to pay if we cheated or betrayed someone. I learned from the consequences, my mistakes. It was a tough life lesson for me. Even if I could enjoy the luxury lifestyle, I missed Victoria too much. In the end, I found no happiness. I lived with regrets and guilt every day.